Hello, I'm Randy McClure. Welcome to the latest supply chain tech brief. It feels like you can't go a single day without hearing about the next amazing thing AI can do. And honestly, for good reason. In the business world, it's already becoming a core part of how things get done, helping us make smarter decisions and sometimes even making them for us. I mean, we're talking about everything from large language models that can write code to machine learning that predicts huge market shifts. AI isn't some far off future concept. It's here, right now, helping us navigate all sorts of business situations. But, and this is a big but, to really, truly leverage its power, we have to look past the hype and get honest about what it can't do. And that's exactly what we're digging into today. This quote from Ray Lee Hunt, it sets the stage perfectly. See, to really harness AI's potential, we have to understand its shortcomings even better than its strengths. It's time to get real about AI's blind spots. Because look, while AI is an absolute game changer, it also has some pretty serious limitations. And for any business out there, knowing these challenges is the key. It's how you avoid the pitfalls and actually turn potential weaknesses into a real strategic advantage. So let's break it down. We're going to explore 11 key challenges that you need to have on your radar. To make it easier, we've grouped them into three main themes, starting with a look under the hood at what's really going on inside the machine itself. All right, our first cluster of challenges is all about what people call the black box problem. This gets into the nitty gritty of AI's internal processes, the hidden biases it can carry, and, you guessed it, the huge amount of resources it eats up. First up, the transparency issue. I mean, how can you trust a decision if you have no idea how it was made? If an AI denies a customer a loan, you have to know why. That's where explainable AI comes in. The whole point is to build systems that basically show their work, giving you references and logic so you can actually trust them with critical stuff. Next on the list is bias. Here's the thing, an AI is only as impartial as the data it learns from. So if your company's old hiring data has past biases baked into it, your shiny new AI recruiting tool is just going to learn to automate that same old bias. And what's really tricky is that summarizing big data sets can actually hide these flaws, making them even harder to spot. You have got to be vigilant about this. And yeah, let's not forget the cost. Training and running these powerful models takes a massive amount of computing power. That's not just expensive, it also has a real environmental footprint. The good news, the industry is on it, pushing for better hardware, smarter software, and more sustainable data centers. Okay, let's shift gears to our second cluster. This one is all about the cognitive gap. And this is where things get really fascinating. We're talking about the fundamental differences between how an AI processes information and how our own human minds work. Okay, picture a chaotic situation where priorities are shifting every minute. A human can adapt, but an AI, it can get lost pretty easily because it doesn't just know what's most important unless we tell it. This is a perfect example of why you've always got to have a human in the loop, providing that strategic context and direction. AI also doesn't have what we call intuition or common sense. It's not great with abstract thinking. So, an AI might see a tweet about a storm brewing in an industry and take it literally, totally missing the metaphor. The solution here is all about collaboration, where our common sense guides the AI's incredible processing power. Then there's the really weird phenomenon of AI hallucinations. This is when an AI spits out an answer that sounds super confident and plausible, but it's just plain wrong. Like it might cite a legal case that doesn't even exist. One of the best ways to fight this is to use knowledge graphs, which basically anchor the AI's answers in a world of verified facts. And to really get a handle on hallucinations, you should know this term stochastic parrot. It's a perfect mental model. The AI isn't thinking. It's just an expert at mimicking and mashing up patterns it saw in its training data. And sometimes that mimicry goes off the rails and just becomes nonsense. And the last challenge in this group, AI's tunnel vision. It can perform a specific task perfectly, but completely miss the bigger picture, the company culture, the project history, the why behind it all. The fix is a combination of things super specific prompts, constant human oversight, and feedback loops so it can learn and get better over time. This brings us to our final and, you could argue, most critical cluster of challenges the human and ethical impact. This is where we have to grapple with huge questions around privacy, creativity, and ultimately moral responsibility. It's simple. When AI systems are churning through massive amounts of data, the risks to our privacy and security go way up. And there's no single magic bullet for this. You need a layered defense, strong tech safeguards, clear rules in governments, and making sure everyone using the system understands the risks involved. And what about creativity? Well, AI is amazing at remixing existing ideas to create, say, a new logo or some ad copy. But it really struggles to create something truly original, something from a blank slate. That's why, for those real creative breakthroughs, human judgment is still the essential ingredient. Sure, an AI can simulate empathy based on patterns and data, but it can't genuinely understand or feel human emotions. This makes it a pretty poor substitute in any situation that requires real emotional intelligence. So, strategic human integration isn't just a good idea here, it's an absolute necessity. And this right here is the bottom line. An AI is not morally responsible. It's a tool, a powerful one, yes, but still a tool. Its decisions can have huge real world consequences, and in the wrong hands, it can be dangerous. The responsibility and the accountability must always, always rest with the humans who build and use it. Period. This quote really just nails it, doesn't it? Now that we've laid out these 11 weaknesses, they don't have power over us anymore. So let's flip the script and turn all this awareness into action. Okay, so what do we do with all this? How do we put it into practice? Well, we can actually boil down all these different fixes into a pretty straightforward framework that any business can use to roll out AI safely and effectively. Here are the four pillars. Number one, ensure human accountability is never, ever handed over to the machine. Two, build strong governance frameworks to guide how AI is used. Three, put the right technical safeguards in place for security and privacy. And four, always, always provide the AI with clear strategic context and human intent. So, what are the big takeaways here? First, knowing AI's weaknesses is just as important as being wowed by its strengths. Second, you have to be proactive about managing these challenges if you want to succeed. Third, the real goal is intelligent augmentation, making humans better, not blind replacement. And finally, human oversight and accountability are completely non negotiable. And really, that brings us to the final question. Looking beyond all the hype and focusing on these very real challenges, that's how you unlock the true power of AI. The only question left is your business ready to do that? Hello, this is Raymond McClure from SC Tech Insights. Thank you for listening. For more on this topic, click the article link below or go to www.sctechinsights.com for the latest insights on supply chain technology. Thank you and see you next time.